What's going on, guys, and welcome to another top 10 video. Today I'm going to be counting down the top 10 deaths from season 2 of Telltale's The Walking Dead game. Now the rules for this are that I'm only showing using deaths that you can actually see happen on the screen, and that is really the main rule. Just in advance, there is a big spoiler alert for this video. Obviously there are characters dying in this video, that's the whole point of the video, so there is a big spoiler alert. Anyway, let's get started. Starting us off at number 10 is Nick. Now Nick has two possible deaths in the show. There is only one where you actually see him die, and that is the one that is obviously here right now. This is where Nick gets attacked by a walker while the kind of a log cabin-y type area where you find Kenny and Walter and people like that gets a little bit overrun by walkers. A walker grabs onto Nick and Walter raises his gun to shoot the walker or possibly shoot Nick, you don't know. However, if you don't kind of reason with Walter and tell Nick is a good guy, tell him that Nick is a good guy, Walter will just let Nick be eaten by the walker, and that will result in his death. At number 9 is Matthew. So we don't really get to see Matthew at all, and I mean the reason why kind of Walter can possibly basically let Nick die is because of Matthew. Basically, Clementine and Luke and Nick are walking over a bridge to try and find, I guess, some more survivors, or just, you know, some food, water, whatever they're doing. I can't really quite remember now. But they're walking over a bridge, and this guy comes with a sniper, introduces himself, and he gets talking with Luke and Clementine, and they seem to be pretty good, seem to get on pretty well. However, he raises his gun, and then Nick raises his gun, and Nick shoots Matthew. This is not good because, well, when Walter finds out, it doesn't go too well.
Don't shoot!
At number 8 is Sarah. Now Sarah is she was a very annoying character in my opinion. I don't think she was the most liked character in the game. Definitely not for me. She's just a little bit irritating and frankly quite useless when it came to surviving, especially after her father died. Basically, the death that I've chose here, because there are two possible death options for Sarah, is the first possible death where she's just kind of trying to get over her dad dying, but she really can't do it, and she's just sitting in a room. You have to try and save her. It is possible to save her from the horde of walkers that come through into the house. However, if you don't persist and don't manage to get her out of there, then she will be there and she will get devoured by the walkers. Speaking of Sarah, at number 7 is Carlos, Sarah's father. So when the group is trying to get out of Carver's kind of base of operations, I suppose, his survival base, they're getting out of there because they know it is a crazy place. They have to walk through a bunch of walkers. They have walker guts all over them, so the walkers don't really, try and attack them necessarily. However, people from Carver's base are shooting at the group because, they're trying to get away. They don't want them to get away, they want to try and kill them. In the crossfire, Carlos gets hit with a bullet, and then the walkers kind of, find out. They're like, oh shit, he's not one of us, and they end up eating him, and it doesn't go down too well.
Are you sure? Dad!
At number 6 is Reggie. Now Reggie's another character we didn't really get to know very well. However, we meet him when we first come to Carver's base. He seems like a pretty friendly guy. However, he's just, he's a little bit worried about Carver because he knows he's a bit of a maniac. Basically, when he is trying to show Clementine and Sarah how to do a little bit of work, chopping some leaves or whatever they were doing, Sarah doesn't end up doing all her work. She's really shy and she's a little bit scared, so she doesn't do her work. And this means that Carver gets pissed off with Reggie, saying that he didn't, he didn't do his job trying to get them to do the work, and Carver pushes Reggie off the side of a building into a bloody mess on the floor.
I gave you plenty of chances.
Bill! No! 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 Please! Ah!
Taking the number 5 spot is Omid. Now Omid was in the first game. Clementine went with Omid and Krista at the end of the game, and they were trying to survive. At the very start of Season 2, Episode 1, Omid gets shot by, I can't remember her name, or if we even ever heard her name, I don't think we did. This girl basically was going through Clementine's stuff in the bathrooms. Omid came in, tried to be sneaky, the door slammed a little bit loud, and the girl turned around and shot Omid, killed him dead. It was very sad. It was right at the beginning of the game. Omid was a pretty loved character, a pretty, a really good character from Season 1. It was really hard seeing him die straight away in Season 2. In the number 4 spot is Kenny. Now this is personally a death that didn't happen for me because basically at the end, fairly close to the end of Season 2 Episode 5, you get to choose whether you want to kill Kenny to save Jane or let Kenny kill Jane and basically save Kenny in the process. If you decide to shoot Kenny, it is very sad. You shoot him kind of in the arm, from what I remember, kind of in the chest. I can't really remember, I don't have the footage of right now, but you shoot him somewhere, and it's a very sad moment. Clementine is crying, and basically he's like, you made the right choice. He realizes that he's been a bit of a crazy maniac. It's a very sad scene. Coming in at number 3 is Luke. Now Luke was my favourite character along with, I guess, Kenny and Clementine. However, he's not right up the top because I don't think his death was really the best death in the game. Basically, he's injured from getting shot when the Russians invaded, when they kind of shot up the group. He gets shot in the leg, so his leg he's got a little bit of a limp, and basically the group are walking across a massive icy lake, and the ice starts to crack. Luke ends up falling through the crack, and no matter what you decide to do, whether you decide to go and save him or cover him, he will still die. It's a bit of a bad way to go, really. He ends up getting dragged under the ice by a walker. It's a bit sad. It's a bad way to go. A runner-up at number 2 is Alvin. Now Alvin also has 2 possible deaths. He can die pretty early on when Carver shoots him in the head in episode, I'm not sure if it's episode 2 or 3, can't really remember, or he can die in, it's either episode 3 or 4, if he doesn't get killed by Carver early on, he basically gets kind of tortured by him, and then with his kind of last, he was kind of dying anyway. With his last breath, he takes out, I believe, one of Carver's people, but gets shot himself in the process. It's a very crazy way to go. Alvin was a great character. It sucks that he had to go like this. However, he did go out a hero.
Go on.
And at number 1 is probably the most brutal death I've seen in The Walking Dead history so far. It's Carver's death. Yeah, this is quite a brutal death. Basically, after you figure out that Carver is a crazy bastard, and so a couple of people take some shots at him, wound him, get him down onto the floor, and then Kenny, being the crazy psychopath that he is, ends up beating him to death with a crowbar in the face, and there is a lot of blood and gore in this scene. It is a crazy scene, and this is kind of where Kenny's rage and craziness really starts off and takes a turn for the worse. It is a brutal scene, however it's really good to see Carver dead. Alright, so those are my picks for my top 10 favourite The Walking Dead Season 2 deaths. Were there any other deaths, you know, from main-ish characters that that you would have liked to see in here? When I was going through the list of characters, there actually weren't too many other characters. I mean, there was Jane, there was Walter. I mean, I guess you could count the dog if you wanted to. However, I didn't want to count the dog in this list. There were a few characters. However, I don't think there were as many main deaths in Season 2 as there were in Season 1. But anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. If you enjoyed, please go ahead, like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.